Hello, good morning everyone. Today we are going to see Operating System Unit 2, Session 13. In the previous topic, we have studied the concept SJF scheduling algorithm, that is preemptive scheduling. In today's topic, we are going to study the concept priority-based scheduling. And priority-based scheduling, we also have here two modes, non-preemptive and preemptive scheduling. So this scheduling algorithm is based on priority. So the process which has highest priority, that process will be taken for execution by the CPU. And if the processes have the same priority, then it will work on first come first serve manner. And but this priority based scheduling faces the problem of starvation. That is, if higher priority processes keeps on coming, then lower priority processes may not get the chance for execution. So the process with highest priority is executed. So if the processes with same priority, those are executed in first come first serve manner. So it faces a problem of starvation, like if low priority process can be blocked infinitely, if higher priority process arrives in the ready queue frequently. So that means if the higher priority processes keeps on coming, then low priority processes have to keep on waiting. So this problem can be solved by aging technique. So aging technique means increasing the priority of the processes, and so that it can execute if the priority increases. So let us see first example of non-preemptive. So they are given here the process number, arrival time, burst time, and priority. So if you observe these priorities, so 0 is considered as a lowest priority process and 4 is considered as a highest priority process. In some of the systems, 0 can be considered as highest priority process and 4 can be considered as lowest priority process. So while solving this, you can either consider 0 as the highest priority or lowest priority and 4 as the highest priority or lowest priority. So you need to specify here whether you are taking 0 as the lowest priority and 4 as the highest priority. So in this our example, we'll consider 0 as the lowest priority and 4 as the highest priority. So first consider the arrival time. So check out which process has arrived first. So at unit 0, process P1 has arrived. So allocate the CPU for process P1, because at beginning there are no any other processes which has arrived in the queue. P1 is the first process which has arrived at unit 0. Now as this is a non-preemptive scheduling, so process P1 will execute till unit 11. So when process P1 is executing, check out any of the other processes which has arrived in the queue. So next process has arrived at C. Process P4 has arrived at unit 2. Then next process at unit 5. Process P2 has arrived. And at unit 9, process P5 has arrived. And this process 3 has arrived at unit 12. So these three processes have already arrived in the queue now. Now out of these three processes, check their priorities. So among these three, which process has the highest priority, that process will be selected. You can check out process P4 priority. Process P4 priority is 1. Process P2 priority is 2. And process P5 priority is 4. So the highest priority process is P5. So allocate the process P5 to the CPU. Now as this is a non-preemptive, so it is going to execute till all 16 units. So 11 plus 16 it is 27. So till 27 units P5 is going to execute. Now when the process P5 is executing, so another process P3 has also come in the queue now. Even P3 has come in the queue. And this P5 we have already finished. So now there are 3 processes. So process P4 priority is now 1, P2 priority is 0 and P3 priority is 3. So the highest priority process is P3. Allocate the CPU for process P3 and it is going to execute till 2 units. So 27 plus 2 it is 29. So process P3 is also completed. So now only 2 processes are left, P4 and P2. So only 2 processes are left, P4 and P2. So check the priority. So P4 has highest priority. So allocate the CPU for P4 and it is going to execute till 10 units. So 29 plus 10 it is 39. Then last process is P2. It is going to execute till 28 units. So 39 plus 28 it is 67. So this is how we allocated. At the beginning we have considered the arrival time and then the first process is executing. All other processes come in the queue. Then compare its priority. The process which has highest priority, allocate the process to the CPU. Then form the table. So they already given the process number, arrival time, burst time, priority they are given. Now find the completion time. So completion time of process P1 is 11. You can check here. Completion time of process P1 is 11. Process P2 completion time is 67. Process 3 completion time is 29. Process P4 completion time is 39. And process P5 completion time is 27. So these are the completion time. Now find out the turnaround time. Completion time minus arrival time. Consider these columns. Then find out the waiting time. Turnaround time minus burst time. So consider this column. Turnaround time minus burst time. Then find out the averages. Okay. Then you will get this answer. Average waiting time and average turnaround time. That is the values which I consider is this all. Divide by 5. You will get the turnaround time. Divide this by 5. You will get average waiting time. Now let us see another example on preemptive scheduling. So as we know, preemptive scheduling means once the CPU is allocated to the process and there are interruption in between, if the process with the highest priority comes, then the CPU will be taken away from that process and given to the highest priority process. Let us see the example. So in this example, they are given the process number, arrival time, burst time and priority. Now first consider the arrival time. Check out at unit 0 which process has come. At unit 0 none of the process has come. That is from 0 to 1 unit CPU is going to remain idle. And that has to be shown in this way. 0 to 1 CPU is going to remain idle. So at unit 1 process P1 has arrived in the queue now. So this is the first process which has arrived in the queue. None of the other process are there in the queue. So allocate the process P1 to the CPU and it is going to execute till 4 units. But now this is a preemptive. So there are interruption in between. So when the process P1 executes from 1 to 2, you need to check out the other processes which has arrived in the queue now. So at unit 2, two processes has arrived in the queue now. Process P2 and process P3. Process P2 and process P3. Now you need to compare the priorities of these two processes. These processes are arrived in the queue now. Now currently which process is running? Process P1 is running. Now compare the priority of process P1 with these two. Now which process has the highest priority? Process P3 has the highest priority. So take the CPU from P1 and give it to process P3 because it has highest priority. Now process P1 has already executed 1 unit. So still 3 units are remaining here. And process P3 is going to execute till now unit 3. So check out at unit 3 which of the processes has arrived in the queue. At unit 3 again 2 processes has arrived in the queue now. Process P4 and process P5. So the currently running process is P3. Now check out the priorities of this. So when you compare the priority of P3 with these two, process P4 has the highest priority. Process P4 has the highest priority. So now take the CPU from P3 and give it to process P4. Now here process P3, it has completed 1 unit. So still 2 units are remaining here. Now process P4 is going to continue. Now check out process P3 is going to execute till unit 4. At unit 4 another process has come here. Process P6. So what is the priority of process P6? It is 6. And which is currently executing? It is process 4 with 8 priority. So when you compare this with process 6, still the process P4 has the highest priority. So you need to continue with the process P4 only. Now at unit 5, none of the processes arrived now. So the processes have stopped arriving. So there is no any further interruption now. And currently P4 is running. So as there is no further interruption, P4 has to be executed full execution. So P4 has to execute full execution. Out of 5, it has already executed 1 unit. So still 4 units are remaining now. So it is going to execute its full execution from 4 to 8. Now process P4 has already completed its execution. So P4 has completed its execution. So now you need to compare the priorities of all other remaining processes. If you consider the priorities here, process P3 has the highest priority. So give the process P3 the CPU. Now there is no any interruption. So process P3 has to complete its full execution. So still 2 units were remaining. So it will complete its full execution. So that is 8 plus 2, it is 10. Now check out remaining other priorities as process P6 has the highest priority. So CPU will be given to the process P6 and it is going to execute till 2 units, that is from 10 to 12. Now which are the remaining other processes? It is process P1 with 4 priority, process P2 with 5 priority and process P5 with 5 priority. Now these two processes have the same priority. But check out now which process has arrived first. So process P2 has arrived first. Check out, see this unit 2 and unit 5. So process P2 has arrived first. So give the process to P2 and P2 is going to execute till unit 2 units. So that is from 12 to 14. Now next process is P5. P5 is going to take 1 unit, so it is 15. Now last one, it is P1. So P1 is going to take how many units? 6. 3 units were remaining here. So it is going to complete till 3 units. So 15 plus 3 it is 18. So all processes we have allocated. Now we need to form the table. They are given the process number, arrival time, burst time, priorities. Now check out the completion time of the processes. Put it in this way. Find out the turnaround time, waiting time, and the average waiting time which you get is 7.5 and average turnaround you get it is 10.33. Let us see another example, preemptive. Now in this example they have considered 1 as the highest priority and 4 as the lowest priority. Sometimes they mention the highest and lowest. If they don't mention, then it is your choice which priority to be considered as the highest and lowest. Now begin with the arrival time. So at unit 0, which process has arrived? At unit 0, process P1 has arrived. So this is the first process which has arrived in the queue. So give the CPU to process P1. So it is going to execute till unit 1. So at unit 1, another process has come here, P2, with a burst time 1. So, and it has the priority 1. Now which is the currently running process? P1 with 3 and new arrived process is 1. So compare these priorities. So process P2 has the highest priority. So give the CPU to process P2. Now P2 is going to run. Now P2 has already completed here because it has only 1 unit. So this has already completed. Just remove this from the list. Now P2 is going to run till 1 unit, that is 1 to 2. So at unit 2 another process has come here, P3 with burst time 3 unit. Now there are only 2 processes in the queue now, P1 and P3 which has come now. Compare the priorities of this. So process P3 has the highest priority. So give the CPU to process P3. So P3 is going to execute till unit 3. So at unit 3 another process has come here, P4, and its priority is 3 units. So currently running process is which? P3. So what is the priority of process P3? It is 2 and priority of this newly arrived process is 3. Compare these two. So still process P3 has the highest priority. So continue with the process P3 only. Now process P4. Now process P3 is going to execute till unit 4. So at unit 4 another process has come here, process P5, and its priority is 4. So currently running process is P3 with priority 2 and newly added priority is 4. So when you compare this, still the process P3 has the highest priority. So continue with process P3 only. So P3 has completed its full execution till unit 5. Now remove this P3 from the list. Now there are no other further processes which has arrived in the queue now. So the processes which are remaining are process 1 with priority 3 and process P4 with priority 3 and process P5 with priority 4. Now you can check out here priority. These two processes have the same priority. So now which process has arrived earlier? You consider that process P1 has arrived earlier. So give the CPU to process P1. Now as there are no any further interruption, all process have stopped arriving. So you need to complete the full execution of this P1. That is, P1 has already executed here 1 unit. See 0 to 1 it has already executed here. So still 7 units were remaining here. So remaining 7 units it is going to complete. That is 5 to 12. So process P1 has completed. The next process is P4. Next process P4. So P4 is going to take total 2 units. So it is 14. Then last process is P5. You can just see here lowest priority P5. So the process with lowest priority will execute at the end and its burst time is 6. So it is 20. So the process with highest priority will complete its full execution first, and at the end the process with lowest priority will complete its execution. So this is the table of that. So form the table and the answer which you get is 4.6 and 8.5. Thank you.